Well, international news, it's tough to keep up with. Another day, another drama in the Greenland saga. At the moment, Donald Trump, he's gone to Switzerland. He's kind of lectured everyone about Greenland and Iceland, getting it wrong at one point. And he's now put out a bit of a tweet saying that he's got a deal on this. Well, to get the latest on this, we now cross to Simon Marks, Chief Correspondent at Feature Story News in Washington, D.C. Morning, Simon.
Morning to you, Craig.
Now, you would have seen this tweet go out. Do we have any detail about this supposed deal that Donald Trump has done with the Secretary-General of NATO, Mark Rutte?
Look, it's been an absolutely extraordinary 12 hours or so as Donald Trump began his day making an excoriating speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos and doubling down on his determination to own Greenland, essentially saying that the United States wouldn't be able to defend anywhere that it didn't own. You've got to own places in order to defend them, apparently. He also raised massive fresh questions about whether he has any commitment at all to NATO and to the 80-year transatlantic alliance that has kept the peace in Europe since the end of World War II. And then suddenly came the screech of the tyres. He sat down for a meeting with the NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte. And remember that Mark Rutte has done more, I think it is fair to say, than any other international leader or official to massage Donald Trump's ego over the course of the last 12 months.
He's a great suck-up, yes, I agree. Yes.
I mean, absolutely extraordinary, even to the point of referring to him jokingly at one point as daddy within NATO. And Donald Trump loved being called daddy. And it was pointed out to Donald Trump today while he was sitting alongside Mark Rutte that the Danish government had said they were not interested at all in what Trump had called for in his speech, immediate negotiations to hand Greenland over. Trump said the Danish officials needed to come and say that to his face. He wasn't going to believe it secondhand, but he also said, but I'm not interested in negotiating with them. I'd much rather talk to this guy, the NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte. By the time those talks were over, Trump was saying, both on social media and in an interview with CNBC, that a deal, the framework of a deal, the concept of a deal, as he put it on CNBC, has been done. He claims it's going to be a very good deal for the United States. He's just told reporters that this is an infinite deal in terms of time, but he has completely sidestepped the question of whether this involves ownership of Greenland, which it clearly doesn't.
I don't think it's clear. Yeah, absolutely. He has also said in his kind of tweet, he said, additional discussions have been held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. He's been making out that kind of Greenland is essential for this Golden Dome to protect America. Surely he can put it there anyway under the current NATO agreements.
Exactly. And that's why it is possible. I mean, I'm not entirely sure that this is the case yet, but it is possible what we're seeing is a total climb down by the President of the United States. Certainly, he's dropped the threat of those 10% tariffs on 8 NATO members that he was planning to enforce on February the 1st. But if he has settled for some sort of arrangement where he's able to build as many military bases or as many military facilities in Greenland as he wants in perpetuity, but obviously is not taking ownership of Greenland and ending an era in which Denmark for a very long time has administered the territory, then he will simply be doing what everybody's been telling him he could do for weeks now, which is under the terms of that 1951 treaty signed by the United States and Denmark. He's got the rights to do pretty much whatever he wants in terms of defence provisioning and air bases and defence personnel and equipment in Greenland. Now, what this means about rare earths in Greenland that he was coveting in that speech today, what it means about the rest of the Arctic, because he's indicated on Truth Social and in his interview with CNBC that this is going to be something to do with the Arctic as a whole, is very unclear. But, I mean, I think the one thing that is for certain is that he is at least partly climbing down, and he definitely hasn't been awarded ownership of Greenland.
Yes, claiming victory when it may not be victory. It's very Donald Trump. Thanks for speaking to us this morning. Appreciate it, Simon.
Cheers, Craig.
See, Simon Marks, their chief correspondent at the Feature Story News in Washington, D.C., with the news that Donald Trump is claiming some kind of deal has been made. The details of it are, very much up in the air. We'll get the latest on that as soon as we can.